Years ago.
Has it been that long since we are here?
Guess we can call the meeting to order for the Animal Advisory Board for February 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. starting at 6 p.m. We have a quorum. It looks like we have a quorum. And if Barry comes in, we can just have a look at the packet. We'll open it up to public comments. Anybody have any comments from the public? Nobody stand up all at once.
Make them get in line.
Yeah. Public hearings, we'll see if the public wants to open and talk for a public hearing. Once again, calm down, only one at the podium at a time. Okay, can we get a motion for approval of the minutes for the previous meeting?
I'm in here and I don't have a copy of it.
Get a second?
I second.
Discussion? No? All that want to approve it, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Perfect. All right, discussion items. We're going to be discussing chapter 10, the animals, including amendments and requirements related to exceptions for dogs and cats being microchipped, providing amended language to provide clarification and providing updates to animal department and facility titles within the city. Looking through it, I was trying to think of how many exotic animals we actually have in Alpine.
No.
You know, in Alpine, I don't know, I can't think of any.
Within the city limits?
Yeah,
What's her name? Well, she was out in the.
Yeah, we have county.
yeah, there's a lot of counties.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know a few that have snakes.
Oh, yeah, well,
That's exotic.
Mhm.
Jim Wasserman.
If they get into my
Kangaroos
yard,
and
they're
camels.
dead, so.
Oh, I have a
Whatever,
couple
so-
of clients.
So we
that
just
have
have
all
dead
kinds of
snakes in my
reptiles.
house.
I don't feed them. I don't go in those rooms.
Yeah, so this one, I just put the bottom sentence, I moved it to the top, I added some lettering system and then just a couple of other little things. It wasn't it wasn't like a full revamp of the ordinance, it was just kind of moving things around to make it fit a little bit better.
With disability dogs, they automatically come to you, do you get a letter in the mail or anything, or it's just if anybody decides to come to the shelter and say, I want to register my disability dog?
A disability,
Sir,
like a
Service.
service?
Not-
No, no.
It's a dog
Never.
disabled.
I've
or
never-
that.
I can't think of a time where I registered a certified animal or been asked about registering a certified animal. But we can't register 'em as a certified animal, but I haven't done a city license for one that I know of, so.
I guess I'll tell you when you try to register their dog.
Yeah.
what happens if somebody's got a falcon? Do they register that falcon if they're falconers?
That would be, yeah.
Cause
I'll do-
BRI people, there's a couple of BRI people that have.
Yeah, I think they
falcons.
would need to go to the Texas Parks and Wildlife and make a report of that and get a license for that.
Oh, they already do though. They already have a license.
Yeah. That was.
Yeah, they're banded.
Not so, this is not something that we've run into before, but you know, I always want to make sure that it's reading correctly in case it does. Trying to think if I don't think there was anything that was like a serious like rehaul of this. A lot of it's just rewording and making it, yeah, flow. 10-49 was changing dog and cat to just animal because we do not just, it's not just cats and dogs sometimes. Sometimes we're dealing with chickens and goats and turtles. We've had a turtle before, you know, all sorts of stuff. So we want to make sure that we're not just classifying between the two species. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to change what it's called then? Lost dogs and cats.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
So
Change
smart.
to animal,
So Ross agrees.
We're
lost animals.
Patriot, 6.
Yes,
Page 6, yeah. My goodness.
change it all here, we shouldn't change it in.
The 10-50 was also just kind of changing wording. I know we didn't like the word dead per se, so I changed it to deceased. I think Mary was the one that kind of brought that up at one, was it Mary that brought
You
it
wanna
up?
change it in the heading too?
Yeah. That's okay. too. This is why we need you.
What's wrong with dead?
It's just so dead, I mean,
Yeah.
Dead is dead is
Dead is
deceased
dead.
dead.
It's
So
dead.
final.
I don't know.
We were really dead. It was killed, shoot, killed and dead. I don't know. Deceased just sounds,
Okay, so where did they
It's
pass
not
away
dead.
to?
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Passed on.
Do we have, I mean, this sounds horrible, but do we have like a trailer where we put the roadkill?
Those all, that's actually, will wrap up into my cremation stuff, but, anything that's not really just a giant deer or a pig, we have to haul to the dump. But anything that'll fit in our freezers, we put in there and then we do communal cremations for. So we incinerate everything. Which I think is better than putting them in.
I think it's more sanitary.
Yeah.
I remember when we got that thing out there.
I can't even, I don't like to even think about before.
I remember even working on the new shelter.
I don't think people understand, some people, what the before was like. It was.
Oh, it was horrible.
Does the city get a discount rate for disposal?
It's a good Megan question. I think that we get up to 20, we can do up to 20. And then we have to pay after that. I think that's what she said.
Or
That's 20 deer.
those things are like rats, right?
Yeah, we had, 1 week where, was it a week or 1 month that we had almost 4 or 5? Like 20 can happen pretty quick.
I know a few of them were getting their heads caught.
And the
Coconut.
charge on the receipt that we get is anywhere from like 110 to 130-ish. That's what we would be charged
For the dump.
for one dump of a deer. Could you imagine? Of a load of. pets?
It's great.
It's pretty sad.
Anybody see anything else in this chapter 10?
That's good.
I made a note of those little alterations. I'll send those to Geo.
Yes, you have to make a motion to approve all the changes?
Is there only discussion? Sure, I'll approve them.
In a second, discussion? Anything? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Well, I thought Jennifer was gonna say anything. All right, it's approved. It's okay. Discuss the conditions of the city-owned operated incinerator. 12 years old, huh?
12 years old.
How much was it?
The original one that we got was purchased by, was it the Humane Society that bought it?
Yes,
It was
we sure did.
And $10,000, I think, was the cost for that.
How much are they now?
Depending on what kind of
What kind do you
incinerator-
want? How much is it?
What kind do I want? My dream machine, as I
That's all I
call it.
wanna know.
There we go.
Morbid.
Next.
My dream machine. They can, if you want like the state of the art, good machine can cost anywhere from like 80 to 100,000, easy.
And where does the $146,000,
That is what we've made in the last 5 years
and where did that money go?
into the general fund.
Right, so, don't you think they can give you $80,000? I'll come and
I
beg
don't
with
know.
you.
It's,
I don't know.
it's,
What do you think, Ava?
it's worth it, cause it'll
worth it.
perform better. And the
Yes,
performance, it'll last hopefully longer.
Right, so the one that we have, I don't know if y'all have seen pictures or have seen it in
Oh, I've
person,
seen
it
it.
looks like a bona fide barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes, the type of machine that we use, it takes longer to incinerate, so the time lasts longer. We cannot get the animal out, at the day of the incineration, we cannot do multiple, cremations, during one day, we can only do one. So there's been, and Mary can attest to this probably, she's about a fourth of my business is, we
Thank
have
God.
to store the animal, bodies in freezers, and do one a day. So lately, the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months or so, maybe even longer than that, we've had them just piled for weeks, people waiting weeks to get their pets back. Our freezers, we have one that's about this big and then one that's a little bit bigger. And, we have to pull all those animals out, put them underneath so that they're rotating.
Rotating.
So we're dealing with that. We have to make sure that everybody's labeled properly. We're handling things appropriately. We
You need a
can't do-
walk-in freezer.
We do. There is actually, that was a plan.
It's
in
reasonable.
in the plans for the crematorium itself, there's a little cutout portion where a walk-in could work. But that's kind of besides the point, because we're not gonna need that if we don't.
If we don't have a
working
crematorium.
If we don't have a working incinerator.
But didn't we originally want like an upright freezer for you, walk-in freezer for you guys way, way, way back?
I think so. I think that was originally the plan, and that would make it a lot easier, but that's, at this point, not even my focus. For years, I've been talking about getting it upgraded, and now we're at the point where there's damage to it. And it needs to be replaced now, as soon as possible. It can't be, we can put this on hold for another year or 2 or 3. It's gotta happen now. If people can't look at I mean, we're not making a profit, obviously, but we are making a profit, we are making money with the services. People can't, think about what the effect to the community is. Look at the money that we're gonna lose.
I'm sorry, I was late.
That's
But I can tell you that if we did not have this crematorium, we would go back to putting animals in the landfill, trying to explain to the owner that there's a special, if there still would be, a
There is.
special
Mhm.
spot that their animal would go to. It's horrendous for that
Well,
thought
mine wouldn't
process.
do
I know.
that.
for
Mine ain't
somebody's-
gonna do that. No,
somebody's-
no.
Best friend.
Best friend
Mhm.
or their
Family member.
family member, for that to happen, and I do not ever want to tell somebody, you can take your animal to the landfill, or this is where it's gonna end up if we have to take care of it. The alternative
Uh-uh.
that we had to go to before the crematorium was here is that we had to reach out to as far as Midland, Odessa area, that the client would have to pay for the person who drives all the way to Alpine, picks up their body, takes it back to the crematorium, and it may be a month, a couple of months, or whatever, before they would get cremains back, if they were getting cremains.
And I just don't know that I would trust that. If I'd had to
Exactly.
send
We
Penny to
built-
Midland, how do I know it's her?
Exactly.
Repertoire here in Alpine, people trust us with their pets, and they should, because it's one of the most important things that I feel that I do there.
You got it.
The remains of their family,
Yes.
Mhm.
and
And it not only
I wanna
serves
cry about it.
Alpine, but
just.
the
Yeah,
whole
let's
area,
just-
people from all over bring
So
their
what are we,
animals.
what are we approving? You to go in
It's,
front of
we're just
council?
talking about it and putting it in the air.
It needs to be landed. This
It needs to
shouldn't
go on
be
an
a
agenda.
question. It shouldn't be a question. It just should be that the city needs to plan how they're gonna set money aside. If this cannot be fixed, that it needs to be replaced.
Is it running at all?
It's running, we're still using it, but it is a matter of time before this becomes
A hazard.
a hazard.
Mhm.
There's smoke that comes out of it.
Oh,
that
that's
shouldn't be
good.
Coming out of it, there's some liquid that drains out of it.
It's a
not-
hazard. So I
we're
don't see
having
where the
to-
city has any choice other than to try and find have a fundraiser for it. do whatever it is that's needed
We
for
can
it.
go, I mean, if it's that big of a deal not to get my dream machine, and just.
Yeah, dream one.
I like to say, it. I've been saying it for like 4 years now.
that I heard.
Yeah, it's my dream machine. Then just getting something in equivalence to what we have. It's just gonna get us by. It's not gonna be as efficient as one of these that you can do multiple pets in a day, which would be amazing. To be able to have a turnaround like that and give somebody a pet the same day, give them their pet back.
I don't think the average person knows how important this is.
Until they need it.
Until they need it.
Mhm.
Or
Well,
a person that's not into animals.
You try and go dig a hole.
No,
Not here.
no,
Uh-huh.
my animals go right out there to
But
her
what I'm saying
They
is
go
that's
to
your
you?
alternative.
and
that
her.
We're not supposed to be burying pets in the backyard, in the city limits and so forth, but you bet that people are doing that. And if that's the only alternative that they have, then that's what they're gonna be back to doing again, is burying pets in their backyard.
No, my animals see you,
Mhm.
you, not Zach.
Well, it just needs to get
And
on the
her.
agenda and Jennifer, you need to go tell them and. If I'm here, I'll go with you.
What's the added
I'll
cost
stand
for
beside you.
removal of the old unit and installation of the new?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. I think we can, aside from, I mean, we're gonna have to disconnect gas lines and things like that. I'm hoping that maybe.
Don't you think
our
we could get a
city-
break with the gas company?
Yeah, I'm hoping that our city crew, if those are usually a plumber, or heating and air.
Yeah, but you're tough.
Can handle the disconnection of those.
Well, they have
certain
animals
things.
too, they can.
But the main thing is getting the unit, the old unit out, which I'm hoping that.
And then what
maybe
do you
the
do with
city
it?
Has something,
Will they do a trade-in?
I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying, some do.
Yeah.
With some of my equipment, the people who are in business for these might have a means of disposal for it, like people come in, change out your washing machine or dryer or something like that. I mean, it's parts, so that's
It's
a
not the
possibility.
same, the model is, I mean, it's been over a decade, so it's doesn't exist anymore and.
You would be surprised where it does exist.
I haven't been able to find our specific model.
Okay, I'm not talking about that you would be able to buy that particular model. Talking about that model is out there working
Sometimes
right
they'll
now.
give you credit towards,
Yeah.
like
I
turning
mean,
in
that's
a.
something to look into.
Yeah.
Okay, how much does your dream machine cost?
Anywhere from probably 75, what did I say, 60,
80,
75, 80 to 100,000.
It's a
80 to-
couple of cars.
Well,
in the
it's
city.
And it-
a
and the
100K
capital- It was
is
on the
not
capital
that
improvement
much in
plan.
the long run. I mean,
Was?
because it's gonna last a
It
long
was.
time.
So there's, if you look at our, I don't think we have it here, but if you look at it, it looked like there was money set in the
Yeah,
capital
and it's going
improvement
into the
plan
general fund.
for this. And if you look at what the CIP says now, there's an on hold on this.
But we did a fundraiser for the dog park. We
Right.
rocked that fundraiser.
Mhm.
It was hard, but we did it.
Yeah.
And we
That's what I
had
was
some
gonna
great
say.
things donated when we did that fundraiser.
Yeah. Megan did want me to mention that she is looking into grants, possible grants for this.
Yeah.
Which
So,
could take months and months
yeah,
and
but
years
she
and
said that she's been looking into it, so.
even if she got partial grant.
Maybe the Bissell Corporation.
When's the next auction that the city has on cars? I don't know where those funds go to, if
Those
it
are-
doesn't go into the general,
Shouldn't it? Should go back to the PD.
Yeah.
It depends on where they came out of.
yeah,
I ran by
I'm not sure.
Carol.
yeah.
So. I don't know, it's just, this is a big issue, it's a big issue for me, because of just thinking, we were just talking about it, thinking about, what we were going to have to do if this does not get fixed.
You have been pushing this for 4 years. This has been in the agenda for the city council to consider before.
Yeah, it's been added to a capital improvement plan.
It was in the capital.
Yeah, it still
It
is.
was
but
in
it's-
when I was
It's
on.
labeled, as far as I know right now, it's labeled as on hold. Because we did buy, the issue originally was that the burners on it, there's two burners, there's one, a top burner and a bottom burner. I know. But they weren't functioning properly, so I did get those replaced, so that was the Band-Aid for the incinerator, so I think that thought process was, okay, it's fixed now. So we can put this on hold,
Okay,
but that was before we knew about the crack.
So it needs to be
Wait.
an item to be sent to the city council.
would your dream machine be, since it would be new, brand new and everything, would it be a lot more fuel efficient than the one you have now?
yeah.
100% believe that.
Yeah,
We would not have to run it for, I mean, small animals still take at least an hour, hour and a half.
mhm.
These other ones, I mean, it's a lot quicker. I'm so sorry. This is my
It is
life.
a fact of life. I know.
Judy.
I send my dogs to it. I know.
It's hard to.
I have them all lined up in the room, you know, their glass collars.
People will just keep saying it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
okay
the
with
Oh,
it.
God, it's not
It's
good.
hard to think about, and it's okay.
The little kids love it. Can we open it? Why didn't Penny? Why didn't Penny have as much as Lady does? Cause Lady was bigger. I mean, you know, we've had all these conversations. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
What do you do with the animals that are dead and they pick it up dead and what do you?
Those
do?
are all, we do communal cremations, so it's a collective of either, personal pets that they didn't want the ashes back, or, animals that are found deceased around town. So hit by car, cats or dogs, or even skunks, raccoons, anything that you've seen out there, we've put in there. And that's, I mean, a very sanitary way of getting rid of a deceased, animal.
Yes.
Those
Then
that
go
pay
in
in
and-
private, you cremate those private?
Yes, and then we do private cremations, which are completely separated from the other animals.
Which your husband tells me that, I guess it was Samuel. Oh, well, they were busy. I just shot him at the house in the barbecue pit. Oh, good, thank you. That's what he told me.
But you still get ashes, you still get
And I
ashes
went,
from
"Oh,
a friend.
okay.
Not there, I mean, we do a really good job of cleaning
Oh, I
in
know.
between, we clean the equipment, all of that stuff before. another one
Vacuum.
goes in
But
there,
what do
so.
you do with those ashes from,
Oh, the communal,
yeah,
those do go to the landfill.
No, they go
Put them in
through
mountains and stuff.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
Oh, take it to the
Pile
ocean.
out in
A big pile.
the building.
Yeah,
Well,
Just
this
do
just
it.
needs to get on the
Down
agenda.
street.
just go up over the hill.
I don't know where to go with.
No,
it.
you don't wanna go
Let's
over a
talk.
hill because they blow.
Back
up in your
Present
face.
it again
Yeah.
to the city council.
Yeah, Carl.
And it is an urgent need.
How does it get on?
I mean, I
Everything
really
put
believe
it
that.
on.
They need to find
Jennifer
money
could
for
put
it
it on
one
there.
way or another.
Yeah, I agree.
We tried to do.
So maybe we'll just get it on and the conversation's gotta be started. So. Hear that, Gio? Get it on the agenda.
Gio. Gio, are you listening?
He's napping.
Yeah.
No way, he's not.
I'm here.
Could this be
Checking on ya.
discussion agenda or an action item?
Yeah, you can add it as a discussion if you'd like. Definitely. I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay,
This is really.
so do I need to talk to Megan or do you?
Either way, if you want to add it, I can add it. Or if you want to talk to Megan first, she might tell you that it, if she could already budget it or something. But if you want to just have the discussion, then you can add the item.
Okay,
You want me to add it?
yes, please.
And what
Okay.
day is
And
that?
then Jennifer can come and talk.
March 4th.
March 4.
Okay, I'll add it.
So you come for March 4, so you can attack us.
Present it peacefully.
Well, I better not come out there.
I haven't always presented it as peacefully as I am today.
Firebox.
Maybe we should-
I'm not talking about burners and stuff. That just makes me
In that
sick.
president.
Yeah, if you, I mean, there's, I included some of the last 5 years, of our income, and you can see that it's increasing. And we have not changed our fees. We can also do that. We can up our fees. We have not upped our fees, to help.
Since we
compensate
started.
Since we've started.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, that's a possibility. We can do that to offset some costs. I also, there's a spreadsheet here. It's only 3 months worth of documentation here, but you can see where our animals are coming from. So majority are coming from Alpine, but you can see that we're still dealing with Fort Davis, Marfa, Marathon, Fort Stockton, Furlingwood, Sanderson, other like Pecos, Presidio. I've had 3 this past month, 2 or 3 this past month, that were just traveling and they lost
Their
a pet,
animals died here.
and their animals died here and they had
Oh, God.
nothing else to do.
Oh, it stinks taking care of somebody's animal when they take their last breath.
So, I mean, stuff happens, you know, you're on
Oh, yeah.
vacation, you bring your pets with you in your motorhome and they pass away.
Mhm.
And you're in the middle of nowhere. We have been a godsend to those people
Sure.
because what are they gonna do?
Travel back with a
Travel
pet
back
and an
with
ice chest.
Right. They've already gone through. a
I mean,
traumatic
seriously,
event.
that's their
Yeah.
options.
So,
Yeah, and you have to put them in your own deep freezer until you open up. Yeah, I know.
yeah, yeah. So, just wanna make sure you guys knew that that was there. Anybody have any other questions?
Where are we taking them from Fort Stockton? They don't have an incinerator there?
They do have one. I don't know how public or it is, like we have it here.
Okay, but we're not taking them from their shelter, since they are a kill shelter.
No, I think they do their own personal incinerations. I don't know if they do it for the public like we do.
Who would they do it for? What?
The public.
So they're hoarding their.
I don't know what they're doing.
They do have a pretty good rescue over there.
Yeah, C4.
Yeah.
Alrighty, any further discussion on this?
No, we just know we want our babies cremated. So they can be put in with our ashes.
So, I guess I'll make the motion that it got put, that we'll add it to the agenda
March-
for
March 4th.
March
March
4th.
4th.
and-
But it's a discussion item. We're not gonna
Discussion.
vote on anything.
Yeah, it's a discussion item. So
Okay.
To start.
start getting that ball rolling.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
You have to be here to back me up.
Oh, yeah. You got my lengthy letter you can add.
If you will remind me,
Okay.
I'll sit there as long as I can.
Okay. What discussion items are? So.
I don't. The anger bothers me.
From the other people or yourself?
Is it
Well-
March? See, I have a doctor appointment the 5th in Midland. I don't know if I'll make it. Sounds fine.
March.
Mhm. Yes.
I can look at my schedule.
This is retired.
City council ones.
I just say yes and not run into a snag. for this one.
That's right.
All right, action items. Appoint the chair of the animal advisory board.
I move we appoint James as chair of the animal advisory.
Do we have a king crown?
No. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
You can't do that yet.
That's
You
it.
can't do it now. You're in.
That's official. With that, we need to appoint other officers to the board if necessary.
Is that him laughing?
Did you say anything?
I'm sorry, but that's creepy.
Other appointments would be vice and secretary.
I volunteer for the vice chair, but doesn't have anything to do with numbers or money or anything. 'Cause I'm not doing that.
So that's with Judy. What is it?
I'm a vice president, everything else might as well be a vice chair.
So I move that Judy Stokes is vice president. Or vice chair.
Vice chair. Anybody second?
Second.
There we go.
I never did that, so I didn't have to be secretary.
Up to the fire squad with me. Secretary. If you just take notes through that.
Who's doing it right now?
You are.
I'm not.
Nobody is.
I got the first thing that we motioned and I wrote it down, then it just left my brain.
Oh.
I would be a terrible secretary. I don't think I can.
Hey, Gio, do you know who the old secretary was?
There was not one, but it's best that somebody just, take the role and all they have to do is record any major action, who made the motion, who seconded it, and then the vote. So they could send it to me and I could put together the minutes. In case, I'm not able to attend, like I wasn't able to attend that last time, for example, even though y'all didn't get a quorum after all, but I was out of town.
So kind of like an interim secretary then?
It would just be like I said, just taking down those notes and then forwarding the notes to me.
Do you want to volunteer as tribute or?
If not, Jennifer can always be our trusted go-to if I'm gone.
I mean, I can do that. I would pay more attention if I knew I had to take it. It's like that.
That sounds like you're volunteering to voted in.
All right, well, I move that Jennifer Stewart can be our
No, no,
secretary.
just in case he's not here.
Lauren, is there a second on it?
Thanks.
All right. All in favor, Jennifer?
Aye.
All right. All opposed? Uh-huh.
I can't even vote.
There we go. All right, we have our officers. Good job, guys.
Congratulations.
I do all of this if you just want to.
You're better than I am.
Okay.
That's a good vice chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's
All
a
right.
habit.
Board member comments. Does anybody have any comments for the board?
I don't, but I'm glad to be back on the board. I missed, I didn't really miss it, but I missed it. Does that make sense? I just felt like, that my schedule just was not busy enough without being on there. But this isn't all the time, you know,
No. Times a year.
and I can do that. So that's fun.
And you have great organizations.
Oh, yeah, you better believe it.
You know, you're.
Oh, here, I was gonna give this to Jennifer.
Yep.
Here, I don't know who did them, but
Say what?
She's got a.
that's a
folder.
motion.
He's got great organization.
There you go.
Do you like a copy of what you?
No, no, that's okay. I'll know when you give it back to us, read it back to us next time if it's wrong or wrong. I don't know who made the motion.
Into DBP.
There was a first, there was a second on the motion, discussion,
I did get it on
And-
the, I did.
and then the
write it
vote
down for that
passed.
one.
The
And
vote
then we can-
passed.
And he was paying attention. If not, we got a recording.
Good.
Hey,
There you go.
yeah.
Only comment I got is, thank you for pressing me to be the chair. And I'll do what I can. I'll try to be as good as. Pat
Just
can.
be here. That's all we expect out of you. Just come to
You
me.
know, it's really a good. The advisory board is a good thing for our county. And years ago, we did get a lot done and the board still continues to get a lot done. For the animals and for the
The
people.
citizens, yes.
It's important that the citizens know that there's people actively trying to help and helping the animals, because a lot of us have got really soft hearts when it comes to these animals. And there are 3 reasons this
That would be
woman
me.
could go to jail. If you're harming an animal, if you're harming a child, and if you're harming an elderly person, I will get up in your face. And then Ronnie's coming and he's gonna tell me, so wow, you're going to jail.
I have a question. So is the cat room empty out there?
We have one cat in there.
Is that from us all,
I think it has a lot to do. with
all,
working with
the
animals.
trap and release thingy?
Yeah, we had 2 cats that
We did
fixed
today.
They stayed one night with us.
One cat with the hugest balls.
The big Tom.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm still sad that I didn't let you put, false ones in.
Oh,
Brittany.
Nudicles?
Yes, I just
No.
thought that would have been so cute.
Alrighty, I will then make a motion to adjourn at 6:34.
I didn't write that down on you.
All right.
All right, that was good.
Go.
Thank